You want to hear the truth. You will not learn a language just by watching shows and looking at your phone. You're not a little kid. You don't have 20 years to slowly and lazily pretend to learn a language while eating cereal and watching cartoons. But unfortunately, that's what a lot of alleged adults are doing. You're watching TV shows in another language, you're playing with stupid apps, and you're telling yourselves that you are learning. But you're not. You're just avoiding the hard work. You're doing what's easy and fun instead of what actually works. And after 5 or 10 years, you still can't have a proper conversation. This idea that just watching and listening is enough feels nice, but it doesn't work. My name is Mikkel. I'm a hyperpolyglot. I speak 12 languages, and I've developed a fast and efficient language learning system in the Innovation Center of the University of Deusto, here in San Sebastian. I've helped thousands of people learn languages fast, without wasting time. And today, I'm going to explain why the whole "just immerse yourself, comprehensible input bro, you have to learn like a child" doesn't work. Here's the thing. People love saying kids are amazing at learning languages. But is that really the case? No, they're really not. In fact, they're not very good at it. They simply spend thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours, in contact with the language. And even then, it takes them years to speak properly. Most kids don't start speaking well after 10 or 20,000 hours of contact with the language. And they make a lot of mistakes too. They forget words, they mispronounce a lot of stuff, and they need constant correction and repetition for years. And this is a really important detail, a detail that the comprehensible input hacks conveniently forget to mention every time. The only reason it works so well for kids is because they've got time. Kids have all the time in the world, but you, my friend, don't. You don't have that kind of time. You're an adult and you've got things to do. You don't have that kind of time to waste on YouTube videos. And there it is. That's why telling people that they should learn like a child is terrible advice that you shouldn't follow. It's actually one of the slowest ways to learn a language. And before you tell me some Stephen Krashen story about immigrant children learning really fast in the US, let me tell you a story of my own. I used to work with a bunch of guys from the Balkans in Austria. Serbs, Croats, Romanians, really cool people, fun to spend time with if you're into kickboxing and partying. They all knew a bunch of words in Spanish. Their moms were all obsessed with Spanish telenovelas, Venezuelan, Colombian, whatever they are. I don't watch these things. So those guys grew up hearing a lot of Spanish at home for years. Thousands of hours of exposure to Spanish. And what did they learn? They know a few words and a few dramatic lines like "¿Cómo pudiste hacerme esto? El jardinero es tu verdadero padre." That was the extent of their Spanish. And I know what you're thinking. But Krashen says it works really well for immigrant kids in the US. Of course it does, because immigrant kids go to school in English. And they have to answer questions in English, they have to do homework in English, study in English, exams are in English, and their classmates are all English speaking. So every single day they get in massive amounts of reading, listening, speaking, and writing practice. And they get in lots of feedback as well. They constantly getting corrected. You see the difference? And that is why the whole comprehensible input hypothesis is pure garbage. And yet people still believe that just watching Netflix or YouTube videos, they'll learn a language and they'll speak it fluently. Here's the hard truth. If the only thing you're willing to do is consuming content or playing with video games, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna make it. That mindset where learning has to be fun all the time is why so many adults spend years learning a language and still can't hold a basic conversation. In fact, that mentality is why so many adults are a complete failure in every aspect of their lives, not only language learning. You're not a child. It's time to start acting as an adult. The reality of it is, the fact that you're not a child is an advantage. You're better than a child. You're smarter. You can learn consciously, deliberately. So here's what actually works. First of all, you need to learn a lot of vocabulary and a lot of useful sentences. Not just words, sentences. Things you'd say in real life. Write them down. Translate them. Create audio files. Number 2 is listening. You need a lot of listening practice. You should start with those sentences you want to learn. Listen to them on repeat over and over again. And once that becomes really easy, you can move on to native speaker content. Avoid all that learn with comprehensible input nonsense. You learn the sentences you want to say by listening to them over and over again, and once you know them, move on straight to native speaker content, because that's how native speakers speak. And number 3, speaking. You need to speak a lot. Talk to yourself. Record yourself, listen and repeat over and over again. Translate your sentences into the target language with feedback over and over again until you can say them with no mistakes. This is the part most people skip because it's actually hard, but this is extremely effective. If you want real progress, you need to do this over and over again until it becomes easy. If you do these 3 things every single day, you'll improve really fast in any language. All 3 things every day. That's it. It's not fun, it's not easy, it's hard work, but it works. Stop wasting time. Stop pretending passive exposure is enough. It's not. If you want to speak fluently, put in the work every day. Do the things that move the needle. Work hard and work smart. Learn phrases, listen, and speak every single day. Stop drooling Spanish and start speaking Spanish.